early feminists, if we're talking about Mary Wollstonecraft, Gloria Steinem, Simone de Beauvoir, however you say her last name, they were all very anti-family. So they believed that the feminism movement, it would never reach its peak until women decided to completely leave the home. There was actually an article, it's Sex, Society, and the Feminine Movement by Simone de Beauvoir. It's a very famous quote in 1904. She basically wrote that, and I'm paraphrasing here because it's pretty long, that feminism would never succeed until women didn't have the choice to stay home. So it was very anti-choice, actually. She said that society should be that women go to work, and so they can't stay home. And the reason she said that is because if women had the choice, they would almost always choose staying home over going to work. So that's my point about it being anti-woman, is it's never been about choice, contrary to what people believe.
I definitely take what you're saying into account. All the authors you stated, we study in class as a gender studies major. And if you talk to any of these girls or boys in the class, they are very opinionated and knowledgeable about other authors. And I want to bring into account to this theory of feminist, Judith Butler. She has this article about doing gender and how in order for women to even start the feminist movement, they had to conform to some part of society. It's like, it felt like a game in a way. In order to get into the rooms to make the choice for women to have the choices they do today, they had to play into it in some.
Bro, that's a bunch of Japanese, bro. That's full on Japanese, man. What? Because Savannah brought up some good points. That's how I should have been coming today. That's what I do for real. You know what I mean? And I was genuinely curious because I was like, bro, that's facts. These are your people. You know what I mean? These are the people that founded your movement. These are the people who support, who was the forefront of that movement. Are you aligned with that? You know? And this is where it's just you just kind of end up, these people just end up making their own type of doctrine. They make their own way of living, you know, and it's so inconsistent, you know, and it can never be tested against truth. And it can never really stand its ground because at some point you're going to find a hole. And at some point you're going to find a leak. You feel me? So it is what it is, though. All right, let's keep going.
Sense. So I do see your side of it, but I think to stay.
Bro, what you mean your middle, side?
I don't think your.
What do you mean your
wrong,
side?
My opinion.
What are you talking about? I see your side of it, dog. She didn't give her own personal opinion. She gave you what your own authors were talking about. We're reflecting on what they were pushing forth. That's not her side. That's the side that you're on. That's your side. Come on, bro. This don't make sense. They have
different upbringings or just the way we see women as a whole. And to that, because of this stereotype from the authors you brought in, you said they're man-hating and especially when you say oh, I'm a feminist, people are like, oh God. But I think we need to reshape the way people see feminists. And I think just like you do on your platform and I do on my social media,
we have no issue with how we see feminists. There's no issue. Well, actually, no, there is an issue. We're too tolerant. We're way too tolerant. Way too tolerant. They need to all get shipped on a bunch of boats. We'll ship them over to. I like Puerto Rico. And that's still technically America. Let's ship all the feminists. Let's put them all on boats, Minecraft boats. Let's put feminists on Minecraft boats, and let's ship them to West Africa. How about that? We'll send them over there. Maybe a little bit of Egypt, you know, or maybe we could just set them on sail for the Middle East. Maybe we could send them to one of those countries. Just so they can get set straight. You feel what I'm saying? If they survive the journey, let's bring them back. But if not, it is what it is. I'm so glad.
I think going back to the claim, right, that feminism is inherently anti-woman.
Oh my goodness, bro.
How are you refuting that claim based on what I've given you?
Yeah, I don't think any of those authors were ever anti-women. I think, again, it's just expanding. Feminism is expanding what women could be and where they could go.
Yeah, but when you're saying things like feminism,
bro, you see what that sounds like, bro? You see what that sounds like, man? You see what that sounds like, bro? Hold on. Don't get caught slipping, big dog. You see what that sounds like, bro? You know what I'm saying? You know what it sounds like? That sounds exactly like Genesis chapter 3. You see what I'm saying? What it could be, you know? He's selling the idea. You feel what I'm saying? Selling the dream. Where could women be? Where could women go? You know what I mean? Like, but then also just like, I'm not trying to like beat nobody down like by aesthetics. Like, I'm not trying to do that. But also just like take a look at their postures. Take a look at like the way that they're speaking. Take a look at how they're speaking just in general, how they're carrying themselves. Like, just there is, I'm not trying to have people compare, but also at the same time, like, there is a difference, you know? There is absolutely a difference between the two
will never reach
women.
its peak until the nuclear family is destroyed. You're not pro-woman because you're not giving them the choice. You're saying that if you stay home, we don't want you to stay home, we want you to go to work. Otherwise, you don't have any value. So that's what I'm bringing to the table. I'm saying it's inherently anti-woman. If it was actually about choice, and I think you see it very apparent in culture today, like attack. We take ballerina farm slander, for example.
Dang.
Like feminists, I have not met a feminist that is not against the trad wives on the internet, right? So if we look at it in that way, and they'll say, you know, it's all about equality, it's all about choice, but then they will directly attack stay-at-home wives and mothers and women who choose a different lifestyle.
Again, I think that's due to people not being knowledgeable about it at all. Like, people who go online and troll people like us or your opinion or my opinion, like, they don't have knowledge about everything in the world. It's just like what
Bro, trolling feminists? Nah, that low-key be... I don't know if that's something that, like... It's something that you shouldn't be after, but when the opportunity naturally occurs... Oh, brother. Dude, that's like... For me, that's like candy, bro. I'm like a baby, and that's candy. I love, like, trolling. I don't love trolling, like, too much, but, like, in a sense of, like... when the opportunity presents itself, if it's there and somebody's being disingenuous, like, I like being sarcastic. You know what I mean? Like, I like taking your logical, whatever you're talking about, I like taking it to its logical conclusion, and I'll immerse myself into that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm a good thinker in the sense of, like, I can imagine some things. You know what I mean? So I'll be like, all right, well, let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Is this what you want? All right, let's go. Yeah. Let's do this. But then simultaneously, let's go ahead. Let's throw them out the picture. You know what I mean? So, yeah, bro. I don't know.
they were raised into and like how they think it should be. So fighting against any sort of system is going to be hard, and it's not going to all be happy. But I think the benefit of fighting for women's rights, and even I'm in film, so I always go back to film and social media and how that representation is changing the way
we already fought for the rights. The war is over.
I don't think it makes them unhappy. If anything, it makes...
Dude, the war is over. What rights? What rights are we talking about here, bro? Like, for real. What rights? Please, tell me. Because what? Women can vote. Women can speak. Women aren't property anymore. Unfortunately. I'm playing. I'm just joking. What rights? Can somebody, like, educate me, please? What rights? You feel me? Like, please, tell me.
Be happier to be able to give these women a voice and lift them up. And, again, I think we have two completely different opinions, and there's people on the internet that will fully agree with you and fully disagree with everything I'm saying.
Yeah, so there's something called the female happiness paradox, right? Where it's the fact that as women, we have more freedom than ever in today's society, but we're more unhappy than ever. We're committing suicide at higher rates. We're popping more pills than ever. And it's like, it doesn't make any sense, right? Because now we have all this freedom, but we're less happy.
But I think, once again, going back to the power that is of social media, because of the rise of depression and anxiety and suicide, this week at school, at UCLA, there was a girl in our class that passed away and committed suicide. Wow. And I don't think this is entirely to do with the feminist movement. I think this is cultural norms, political norms, and it does go back to our phones, but that's what I'm saying, like, the power we both have to have our voice online is going to make women happier at the end of the day.
I disagree because we've gotten more unhappy as time has gone on. And I mean, you can look from the 1950s until now. It's pretty tragic. But feminism has a lot to do with the progression of our society and progressivism. And it's been the most sweeping movement in any political movement. It's been the one that's moved the quickest and made the most progress in the shortest amount of time.
That is facts. That's what we were talking about
just
just now,
study
bro.
about the fact that married women with children are the happiest women in society. And
Really?
feminism, being very anti-woman, like I said, has told women that that's not the most important thing. And so if women are deliberately choosing, okay, well, feminism is telling me not to get married and not to have children, I'm not going to do that. Well, then they're automatically putting themselves at risk for that unhappiness.
I also think the unhappiness has to do with, in the internet, in the digital age, we're not supposed to have this many opinions. Like back in the day when you're saying women were happier,
bro.
it's because there were fewer things for them to look for.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree that there's a lot of different factors, right, to depression and suicide. And I would agree that social media is a big part of that. But when we're looking at the progressivism in women and in feminism, that is a big contributor to the unhappiness in women. They have way more societal pressures. I mean, I think debt is a huge reason that women are unhappy. It's a huge stressor to them. I think it keeps them away from.
Bro, debt is a good point, man. Debt is a really good point. I think just anybody in debt could be really unhappy. You feel what I'm saying? It don't matter whether you're a man or a woman, but then even on top of the fact, bro, as a woman, you shouldn't even be, wilding out like that. You feel me? But you in debt? Ah, dang, that's going to add so much. Come on, man. I'm yapping. That was just yapping. But, I mean, I guess, I don't know, bro. I don't know. She's doing a really good job. So it's there's not really, when I hear her speak, I really want to expand, but at the same time, I'm just bro, you're killing it. You feel me? I ain't got much to say, So yeah, other than she's doing a good job.
Their femininity, and women are turning 18 and going into 6 figures of debt to go to school.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, to go to school, if they choose to go to school, right? So, and that puts a lot of stress on them as well. So I think feminism has created a lot of these societal pressures that are on women. And to add to the fact, we can add in the economy as well. But the whole idea of taking women out of the home was to double tax the households. So because expenses have gone up and because the economy has gone wild, it forces women into the workplace, even though 74% of women.
You know what's kind of ironic? This image right here. How is it that you are the one who's advocating for a more traditional, orderly way of going about things? And how you're talking, your head, yeah, absolutely. But it's just now I look at it physically. Here's the thing. I guess I was top up. We we had the close-ups, but now this far back shot. I don't know, bro. I just think I'm really against not I'm against it. I don't think it screams modesty to be showing so much showing your legs. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just with where she's sitting at. If my head wasn't here. You might see buns. Or they're buns. You might see them, bro. Which, again, I ain't trying to be disrespectful. But I'm just being real. You know what I mean? And also, the boots. I don't know, bro. I don't know, cuz. They adventure boots with heels on them. You feel me? So, I guess they ain't that bad. But, and then you look at her. She's got pants on and, tank top that's not revealing. This is cool. You feel what I'm saying? The woman on the left with the navy, that's cool. Just Savannah, what you got going on, bro? You know what I mean? I don't know, dog. I don't know. Maybe I'm being hyperly critical. Head coverings, yeah, we need them. But the thing is, bro, if we put head if we have women wear head coverings out in public, I think here's the thing. If it's in the Bible, New Testament, mind you, if it's in the New Testament, and I'll look for this off stream. If it's in the New Testament that women, and maybe somebody who's watching this right now, I know the answer. Drop it in the comments, big dog. Drop it in the comments. I'll shout you out. Next stream. But if it's in the New Testament that it says like women should be wearing like head coverings for modesty, in a sense of like out in public, all right. But I guess more so head coverings in church, because the thing is, like, if you start wearing a head covering, this entire outfit changes for both of them. The entire outfit changes. And the thing is, like, men, we would have to change our fit too, respectfully. You know what I mean? Not because, like, it's more so like a matching thing. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want, like, if women have to go through a change, you know what I mean? I'd be willing to just put ourselves through a little something, go through it with them. You know what I mean? Might have to start dressing like not in the garments, bro. I've always wanted to wear a garment so badly, bro. I love garments, man. And even the ones that the Muslims wear, bro, those garments are they're so cold. Like, it's all white. Dude, I don't know if there's patterns on them or not. Like, not crazy, but like in the neck area, maybe like up here, but like, and like at the bottom, I think. I don't know for sure, but just garments in general, dude, they're so fire. They're so fire, bro. So, like, we would literally all have to go back to wearing garments, which of course is, like, I mean, not really, like, athletic. You can't really move too much in them. Actually, I could be wrong. I don't know, but maybe you could wear, like, some sort of, like, athletic suit underneath it, like a body suit or something, just in case if something really goes down, you got an extra pair of clothes underneath. You could just, you feel me? And you ready, But, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't think people are going to be down with wearing garments again, so I don't think head coverings, just like in general, I will find out. I mean, we're going to find out if it's in the Bible for like in general, as like a modesty statement. Because here's the thing, like nowadays, people don't really see women's hair out, like women having hair out as like what it is. You know what I mean? Like that is like part of the glory that God has rested on women is in their hair. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't think a lot of people are seeing it from that perspective. And I don't think people are tripping out as much as they used to seeing a woman's hair, because it's so normal nowadays. It's just kind of our culture. But definitely that don't change being in the presence of God. Definitely worship. We need to be wearing head coverings. We need to put those on. We need to make sure God is being glorified, God alone. And then also just to hide, cover that glory up, cover up the beauty. You feel what I'm saying? Let God shine. And yeah, bro. I think we need to go back. We need to start getting back to some biblical stuff, bro. That's it. Like, we need to start getting back into, like, biblical ways of doing things. You know what I mean? But I should have given that take with the camera like this, bro. But it's whatever.
Would rather be stay-at-home wives and moms than have a career. And this is not Christian women. This is not conservative women. This is just general population of women.
They would rather be, but I do believe, taking into account, like, we wouldn't be in the position we are today if it wasn't for those feminist women pushing forward the agenda for us to even like be able to, you can have your own bank account, you can have your own income even through social media, even though like I don't know that much of like your background and like your views on that, but like it's not anti-women.
Do you guys feel like you found any common ground?
I feel like we did, yeah.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and I don't think you're wrong at any level.
Where was the common ground?
This conversation is needed because people are gonna agree and disagree with both sides of us.
Thank you.
I guess the common ground is the fact
So
that they
here's your
disagree.
take. You think feminism makes women unhappy and is anti-women?
Yes.